Hello geeks and gamers, it's Jeremy coming to you with another video, and today we are going to talk about what I think is a very interesting comparison of Zack Snyder in the DCEU to Rian Johnson in the Star Wars universe after The Last Jedi. Now, if you don't follow what I'm saying, basically let me paint you a picture. So, when Zack Snyder made Man of Steel, it ultimately ended up being a very divisive film, and a lot of people defended it, a lot of people hated it. It ultimately did not perform as well as it should have financially. It didn't do terrible, but considering it's a Superman movie with the budget that it had in the golden age of comic book films, and it barely outgrossed Thor the Dark World, then yeah, it didn't do as good as it should have financially, especially based on the opening weekend. And so then it was at kind of like, maybe WB should move away from Zack Snyder. Regardless if you like the movie, maybe WB should move away from Snyder, because that film did not really do what it should have done. But no, they stuck with Zack Snyder. Then we got the god-awful, the disastrous Batman v Superman, which is still one of the worst comic book films I've ever seen. It is a true just train wreck in every sense of the word. And then you had the whole divisiveness of that, which was even worse than Man of Steel. And then you had all of these blind fanboys trying to claim it was a fucking masterpiece when it clearly wasn't. Then you had everyone that hated it, like me, that hated it and was like, dude, this movie's terrible. Like, it's not good. And it did not perform as good as it should have. Sure, it made like $850 million worldwide. It's Batman v Superman. It needed to make a lot more. And the fact that people have no perspective and they can't understand, like, that movie should have done $1.5 billion. It's Batman and Superman. Nolan's trilogy, 2 of those films made $1 billion by itself with Batman. But, whatever. You had people that blindly supported that. Then at that point, it was like, okay, maybe WB should move away from Zack Snyder, because this is a problem. Like, this dude is super divisive. He does not understand these characters, and they need to move away from him and find someone that can actually do justice to these characters. They didn't do it, and then we end up with Justice League. And then even the people that wanted to defend Snyder, all those Snyder fanboys, like, Justice League was a disaster. Justice League was a disaster. Now, I actually ended up liking Justice League much more than Batman v Superman or Man of Steel, but I'm talking about in terms of the performance, the box office performance. Like, what did it get? $650 million worldwide for a Justice League movie in the golden age of comic books? What? Like, that is a true indictment of how bad Snyder was to the DCEU. And now here we are with Rian Johnson, and I don't care if you like The Last Jedi. I don't care if you like Rian Johnson. I don't care how much you like the movie. If you're not willing to acknowledge that people hate this movie, generally speaking, a lot of people hate this movie. I'm not disputing that there are people that do enjoy this movie. I was one of them for a few weeks until I came to my senses. But if you're one of these people that defends The Last Jedi and you're not acknowledging that people don't like this movie, then I can't talk to you, and you should probably go ahead and hit the thumbs down on this video and go about your day, because this conversation is not going to work. I'm speaking to the fact that The Last Jedi has a lot of people that don't like it, and it has hurt enthusiasm within the Star Wars fan community. That is a fact. Whether you want to admit it or not is irrelevant. So, does Disney really want to move forward with Rian Johnson in this trilogy? I don't think so. I don't think they should. And if you go back to my video I made the day after I saw The Last Jedi, even when I was claiming I liked that movie, I said Disney is going to move Rian Johnson off that trilogy. This movie's just not well received enough. It's just not. And it's even worse now than when I initially made that claim. So unless Disney wants to take Star Wars down a path that Zack Snyder took the DCEU, they need to move away from Rian Johnson as soon as possible. Obviously, they would never make that announcement while The Last Jedi is still in theaters, and I'm not even sure they're going to make it until Han Solo comes out and ultimately underperforms. But I think they should. I'm not saying they will. I am saying they should. So we will see. But at this point, they're just doing so many wrong things right now with Star Wars, and it sucks. But like I said on my other video, I've still got the Clone Wars. I've still got the original trilogy. I've still got the prequels. Yes, prequel defender. I'll fight you. I will Smash Bros fight you for the prequels. So step up and get beat down by a prequel defender. Deal with it. And so I still love Star Wars, but I love Star Wars before Rian Johnson stepped in. And yes, I'll defend The Force Awakens too. A lot of you in the comments the other day were bashing The Force Awakens. No, Smash Bros fight right now. Mario Kart. Let's race Mario Kart to defend the rights of TFA and the prequels. I'll beat your ass in Mario Kart. But other than that, we do have a few new subscribers, so I appreciate you guys subscribing. If there's anything you guys want to see me talk about here on the channel, let me know in the comments below. Join our Facebook group. I think we have a link in the description below to our Facebook group. And then check out geeksandgamers.com. Check out Geek Pulse Radio. You guys have a great day, and we'll talk to you later.